5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, how's it? Is the camera straight? Make sure it's good. Is the Empire State Building good still? To the left? Sure? Is that right here? Alright. Alright, we're gonna count down 10, 9. I don't know why I'm counting down. Alright, now I'm just a little nervous. Okay. I'm starting now. Alright, so you see me here. Hello. It's election day. It's November 3rd, 2020. And I'm here by myself right now. Not really. I have my camera woman over here working really hard on this cold ass day. But the whole point of doing this was to maintain this outsideness, you know? Stay away from indoors. I know you get sick, it's COVID season, so it's probably not the wisest idea to risk it. But today I just was all day, you know, I had some things to attend to. Very boring errand-like day. But, you know, it's election day, and then everybody's out here getting crazy, understandably, justifiably. And I was just having an itch. I needed to talk. I talk so much. The reason I do this is because I talk like a motherfucker. And I had to get out and come out and voice myself because it's crucial to me. It's crucial to me because I just feel a little angst, if I'm using that correctly. I don't care for either candidate. I'm not going to vote. And that's my whole idea of things. I don't like this idea of voting for somebody I don't want to. I think we're in a very interesting time where social media, you know, voices are like these commercials for being a better American or a better activist, or, you know, it happens per section of trend. And what I mean by that is that every other, you know, section of time within the year, especially this year and building up to this year, there's been times where people have been charitable and really, you know, helpful. And not only is it beautiful, it's made real change, you know. But I just wonder where it stems from. And I know a lot of people say, oh, well, if it's good things happening, you know, why are you complaining? Well, I'm not complaining. I just want people to do things because, you know, they really care for those things. Now, one thing I don't think that's happening is genuine participation. I think what a lot of people are doing, and this is not to point no fingers or to speak badly on if you're doing a good thing, you know, for the world. I just think being super vocal about it doesn't matter. Posting on it just doesn't matter. Putting, you know, the I voted sticker has been a thing forever, but it's also this little, like, you know, I'm sure before social media, that sticker ain't mean shit, you know? You know, and to people who probably live before me probably disagree with me, but I know damn well today a lot of people want your sticker to post and it show other people that you voted. And that's all fine and dandy because we're participating in change, which we all want. But it's just the idea of doing this for somebody you didn't even care about. Don't you dare lie to me. You say you care about Biden the same way you cared about Obama or Hillary Clinton or anybody you voted for. I'm not saying I genuinely loved either one of those candidates. I just know recently a lot of people that are going for Biden were supporters of those candidates. I don't want to get political, and I don't care if we're talking about either of them. You know? And it's because I don't care. You know, it has a very, you know, a little bit, I'm lazy. You know, I don't want to vote because I'm also a little lazy. Fuck those lines. Fuck those COVID lines. You know what I mean? Truly speaking, because it makes no sense. It makes no sense. There really is a sway of where you should be. Or you can't party on Halloween, but you can stuff 70 plus people in a place where kids go to school. You know, for us to have. Why is the process so shitty? You get what I mean? Like, nah, fuck that shit. I mean, you can never guilt somebody into not voting because there's people that can't vote that should be able to vote. And if you're one of those people, you understand what I'm saying. And if you disagree with my decision not to vote, well, that defeats the whole purpose of our freedoms to choose and pick what we do here in the first place. You know? To me, I don't like who Biden is, and I don't like who Trump is. You know? But I also don't like most of the people in politics because they don't represent me. You know? And there's a handful of them that are, but I don't see enough people my age running for politics. You know? And I couldn't say that before when I was like 16, 17, you know, because obviously I was a little too young to be in politics, but I don't see enough 24-year-old Hispanic men. You know, nor do I see a lot of 24-year-old black men. I don't know, it's coming, happening, you know, but it's just a bunch of old white fucks. You know what I mean? It's just they don't care. They clearly don't care. They're making decisions for a woman, you know, in a matter of ways. And it's more so a show than anything else. So no, I don't want to participate in this election. It's been back in my my choice. Kanye running for president is only justified because Trump, won the election. Come on. Who are you kidding? There's going to be people in the future that are celebrities, and there were people in the past that were. I think Reagan was a governor or some shit before he became president. But I just remember a lot of history freaks that told me like this is something that's new to the world. When Trump got elected, I just wanted to speak a little about the election because it's been on my mind. I don't know why. I just think it's going to produce a lot of interesting things as well. A lot of interesting conversations. And yeah, man, everybody's asshole is going to be clinching tonight. And tomorrow, and the next day, and the next day. Trump supporter or Biden supporter. It really just goes that, because, fuck the Green Party. I don't know who's even in there. And yeah, if Kanye prevails, that should be interesting as fuck. So let's see what happens. But right now, as of now, I think it's about 6 p.m., and coverage starts at 7. And I remember being on my roof. This is my roof. Last election. I was a much younger person, 4 years younger. As you now know, I'm 24, so I was 20 or 19 or some shit, but 20. And I was here and I was chilling, straight up I was just smoking weed, watching the election on my phone, and, laying down because, I don't know, I guess I wasn't as cold. Today's cold as fuck. And, long story short, I went downstairs, a quarter way through the election, watched a little bit more, became disinterested, fell asleep, and woke up to an asshole as president. And it was, it was what it was, but it is what it is now, too. And the reason I'm so excited to talk today is just because there's so much expression out right now. Man, these riots that are supposedly going to happen and these marches and stuff, I just think it's cool to see people participate in anything but, lattes and Instagram. And, even if it's for stupid reasons, white people, you stupid white people sometimes. Not all of you, but the ones you are. The no masks, my rights are being, this and that because I gotta wear a mask that covers my face, that protects other people, and all that shit. I can't justify half the shit some people say, and it's not just white people. It's just idiots. It's just, a lot of racists out there, so it's kind of like, but I don't want to get too political on that because I don't talk about hate, nor do I judge everybody by how I see them. And there's also been situations where I've been, clearly the minority, and you see my skin, you see that I'm a little lighter than most people that are Latino or black or, anything, but I feel like for me that I don't really consider that when I go places, man. I think, it's something that people say a lot, sometimes, and I don't have this said to me, but people who like to talk in a really particular manner, you speak white, intelligent speaking is speaking white. And I know, thankfully, I don't come across that idiotic, thinking no more. But I think, who you discredit when you say shit like that? You discredit all the smart, all smart people of all ethnicities that, have taught themselves how to speak a certain vernacular, accented or not. I think when somebody, I'm the weird thing about me is I'm super passionate about learning big words. I love doing that shit. I know I'm not gonna speak a hopeful sentence with big words to show you how much I like them. I just am very interested in them. Not only do they make me laugh when I hear them, they interest me because that's a whole new way to speak, communicate to a different world, and it's just a different language of doing things. You have your voice, whether you're speaking French, English, anything, and I just never like the term speaking white because I don't like giving white people that much credit. I don't. Why is speaking correctly white? Why are accents not beautiful? I know I'm sounding mad preachy and stuff, but if you're still listening, the reason I'm here is because this is where I can voice my opinions. I hate voicing my opinions to people around me because it just doesn't ever sprout a reasonable conversation. There's too much non-attentiveness when you speak to people that just think of themselves here. I'm not naming anybody in particular, but New York City is not filled with as much diverse opinion as you think. And you may be this person that goes out in New York City, speaks to everybody all the time. But I don't know. I'm from Brooklyn my whole life. You get what I mean? I was in parts of Brooklyn, but this section has been here, and I've been here with it since I was younger. I've been throughout Queens. I've talked to a lot of different people, and my experiences are limited. To hear to a couple. They're limited, is what I'm trying to say. But I have yet to come across a group of people that are gonna change my mind or open my mind to a lot of other things. I don't know where I'm getting at, but as long as I'm talking, I feel like that's okay. A lot of wind came in, and I started to talk about the book and the painting, the picture that was up behind me. As of now, it's 2021. You're hearing me inside, not outside, because I wanted this part of the video to be more clear. Mostly because I'm going to give feedback off a book and a picture that's important to me. The picture is by somebody I found on Instagram. I'll put his thing up, but it's KPUNKA. He has amazing photography. It captures a bunch of nature-esque photos, of course, like, animals, scenery, etc. And he does so in such a fashion which, like, in today's day and age, there's so much advanced cameras, but it's just the eye, man. And when you see this guy in his zone, in his element, it spews through the photography. And there's a whole bunch of other people for sure, but personally, that's one of my favorite photographers in terms of nature. So I strongly suggest that. I bought 3 photos from him. Came from Europe, so it's a little expensive, but definitely worth it. And it's hung up in my house, and my mom loves that photo, and it comes from somewhere. So I definitely suggest just taking a second to even admire the free photos that are on Instagram. And if you ever can, you can always purchase online through him as well. Now, the book that's up there is by Anthony Bourdain, called Kitchen Confidential. This book is super, super, super special to me, but also came into my life very randomly. It was in a pile of books in my house, and I picked one up, and I just seen Anthony Bourdain, and I knew the history behind him because he had passed already. What I go on here to say is that there was a lot of people that I knew that went to the school that I went to, Long Island City High School. Of course I knew them, but they got scholarships to advance their culinary careers in the school CIA, Culinary Institute of America. Now, the significance of that is that, sorry, that's the table on the wall. Got a Lupe Fiasco poster, and it's trying its hardest not to stay up. Anyway, my school was able to give these students that were going into culinary scholarships to go to that school, and it was a whole bunch of them, and I got to play the trombone or some shit, or like, not even, I got to stand there and help distribute food. And I knew a couple people there, like several, like shout outs to Sarah and Melanie if you see this, and more people, of course. And they were going to go forward through there was something happening, and Bobby Flay came to the school or some shit. But so I had subsectioned all these people, as people that would be working with food. And when Anthony Bourdain passed, there was this big, big, big broken heart, basically, expressed through everybody. I knew that, it was a correlation. It was like all culinary students were mourning Anthony Bourdain. And I was like, why? In my head, I'm like, who the fuck is this guy? Seriously. Because I had known nothing about him up until this guy. In the video, even I say, he was just another white guy to me, And I don't feel bad saying that because I didn't know who he was, So I pick up this book, and what interested me was, that he killed himself. I know it's very, can't think of the word right now, like eerie, but it was interesting to me. I mean, this guy has a lot, and from what I've heard, the very little that I've heard, he was amazing. So I read this book, and long story short, what I find in it is this beautiful story of a man that can only tell his story if you listen to him. Now, I know that sounds pretty vague, but there's just a lot of instances in his life where he had a lot of troubles. He had a lot of drug abuse. He had a lot of jobs. He had a lot of unhappiness. He wanted to advance, but he couldn't find the right area to work, from kitchen to kitchen. And he really stressed the truth of failing restaurants. He even mentioned how like 65% of restaurants off the bat don't survive in New York City. And he suggested in the book how to find cheaper kitchenware in the back of a newspaper. Like just little hints of his brain that would help your small business succeed. Ultimately, it's just the devil's in the detail. And I really stress that with this man. I mean, for him to spew and did what he's done is fantastic. And the context of it, like the background of it, is flabbergasting. And I don't want to spoil the whole book, but this book like really changed my whole life, and I felt not alone in a lot of things. And so now the video will continue, and thank you for watching. Just let me know if you guys have any books to suggest, any movies to watch. I fucking love movies, and just any entertainment or, you know, poems, whatever. I'm super open to anything, especially music. So I have a little gap of time here. I had to use it up, and bam, the audio's gonna come back right now. But you know what teaches you the biggest lesson? Doing some shit you love. And I'm here because I have had nothing prepared. You know, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, but I'm here talking because I want to. And I'd rather be freezing in this cold talking to two people than, you know, getting 19 an hour serving people that don't give a fuck about me. And wasting my labor, wasting my skill, you know, being my person, man. I just am more than just a server. You know, I am more than just a simple person who passed by on the street. And in what way or form, I don't know. But I know that if I feel that way about myself, I should go with that energy. I should go with that ideology. Because it's just tiring and depressing to just be doing some shit you don't love. So I've been trying day by day. And they've been getting better, but it's tough. Everything is tough, personally. Yeah, that's my little vent on how I'm doing, I guess, in terms of my mental health, which you should always care about. That is never not important. And if you need help, seek it out in any form. Even if that form is, you know, caring about yourself and relaxing yourself in any manner that you prefer. And yeah. So after all that, I'm still here, and I'm going to remain here for quite a bit. I came out here to talk, and I'm going to talk. It's also a little challenge to myself, because I never did this with myself before. Yeah. But I talk to myself all the time, so that's no biggie. How can I say? As of now, in regards to this project, I think what's making me really happy is the fact that, you know, whenever I finish doing one of these things, you know, people kind of leave happy. Everybody that's been on here has kind of been excited. There's more to come. I have somebody coming tomorrow in the morning, hopefully, you know, get this reaction of this election. I have somebody that's going to be speaking about nuclear energy, if I'm not mistaken, in the next 2 weeks. And that's going to be really cool because he's somebody I know for a very long time. Not closely, just we've always been side by side in school, you know, play trombone together. And, you know, shy guy, not really. Quiet guy with a lot to say. He's going to be on the show in a couple of weeks. If this even is a show, I don't even know what to call this. It's something that I'm doing. It's not a podcast, though high key it is, I guess, because I'm talking to you guys. And I hope that you guys communicate back with me and ask me some shit. Ask me whatever you want. Make me more interesting, because, you know, you don't want to hear me just talk about whatever the fuck I want to say. But more about what I'm doing. I eventually want to move this platform, or if I haven't already, by what you've seen, to the public, to the park, to talk to strangers, to let them have a voice, because there's nothing special with what you're seeing, and that's okay, because every day I feel special. You know, when I think about like what I have to contribute to the world, like there is something special to me, whether I'm feeling great or bad. At the end of the day, I as an individual have the ability to do something today that either benefits me, you, or the world, or can change somebody's attitude. And I know a lot of individuals do negative and take that, you know, power and negatively impact people, but just know that every day you have the ability to do that. And so that's a really crazy thing, whether it's a child, a person older than your family. It's just taken for granted. It's too much time at work, too much time at school, not enough time with family, too much money on the mind. That shit sucks. Anyway, I'm gonna light this shit, but I have no lighter. So give me a second. You have a lighter? I thought I have one. Sorry? I have a lighter. I don't know if I cut that out or not. But let's get into some discussion. So, let me talk about myself a little. I think the infatuation with YouTube is interesting. I think the infatuation with having background noise is interesting, and the reasons for it. I like watching a lot of YouTube videos with talking because it stops me from thinking. And I don't mean that in any bad way towards the videos I watch. But I don't know if that's something bad about me. And the reason I bring it up is because I wonder if I can. I don't mean to make somebody else watch this and stop thinking about their actual problems, but I wonder if I ever can be able to speak to you, yes, you watching right now, and help you relate to me because I'm nothing special, but I have feelings, I have emotions, I have life experiences. And what I'm doing now is because I want to do it. And I say it like a broken record, but this is the first time in very, very long I get to do something and enjoy it and be tired and get that fun. Like, I'm tired for a reason feeling. And especially today where things will be a little different from here now. You know? I had an experience with I was at a bar 2 weeks ago. And we're used to this MAGA Trump supporters, who have the right to their opinion. And sometimes you see crazy versions of these people. And New York City is a very liberal place. I've never seen an extreme version of somebody who opposes Donald Trump. That isn't a particular, And I had the lady come up to me, intoxicated, which I'm known to joke. And she's saying how much we need to vote this man out. Fuck this man. We need to get this guy out of here. You guys going to vote? I'm going to vote. It's your civil duty. It's this and that. And all this, interruption. I'm with my friend, trying to have a good night. Just, talk. The World Series is on. Shout out to the Dodgers. I'm a Mets fan, but it's okay. Kershaw is over. What I heard that night was not only rude, but it was just extreme. And for me, that was the same as just, people, Trump supporters, saying all lives matter, this and that. Where's the birth certificate? Lock her up. All this stupid shit that is just, obviously she's referring to a civic duty that is very important. Of course that. But it's invasive in the manner where you don't know my opinion. I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Biden supporter. But what if? Who cares? You don't come up to somebody and just what's it called? Press your opinions on them. Assume that they're part of what you are because a true believer in democracy should be okay with opposing opinions. And that's not what I'm saying. I'm not seeing enough of maturity. I'm seeing a lot of back and forth. I'm seeing a lot of exactly what this guy does. Divisiveness. So sorry. It's just a game that he's asking you guys to participate in, and not only are you guys, grabbing the control, but you're fighting for it. You're fighting for, who's the one that's being the most activist, who's the one, that's, protesting the most, I need to go protest because I need to post an Instagram photo. Does that sound familiar? Because it is to some people that would never admit it, and that shit is pathetic. Because for me, it's like this: you're gonna give food to the homeless, and you're gonna record yourself doing it. You're demeaning the homeless guy or woman a little bit, but in that sense, it's okay. I get it. You're feeding the homeless, right? So it shouldn't be a problem, right? But just think of your activism and keep that energy every single time, so that it needs activism. Because I saw a lot of people with those Black Lives Matter protests. I haven't seen a lot of other protests, and there's a lot of first times. Okay, but this democracy and fighting for it doesn't happen a couple times a year. It happens all the time, and there's always been activists. But the participation has been back and forth. It's beautiful to see it thrive today, but the participation should be genuine and real. And because I don't see that, it dissuades me from going further with speaking politics with you guys and going further in discussion and being more. Your activity, your psyche, your mental, your academic, everything, man. Talk to your parents more and more and more. Let them use that brain. Fucking hear their opinions and how they grew up and what they have to say. Make them have a little conversation with you and just do something with them. I love cooking with my mom, my parents, my family, everybody. It's just something that involves every sense, to an extent. And it really brings out, something beautiful. Something I love watching a pan full of beautiful vegetables and fruits, different colors, just come out, even steak and stuff like that, just, the joy of cutting up a little fish, making a lobster, all that stuff is delicious, but it even tastes even better when you make it with people that you love. Man, I ain't the best chef in the world, but I'll make you some good-ass food. I'm limited in terms of the play options, but regardless of any of that, I just think there's a lot of things to talk about, and I have a lot of experience that I want to speak to you guys about, and it's hard to bring up so randomly. I have crazy fucking stories that I just want to give them to you in the right context, because before anything, they got to be interesting. I want you to be into what I'm saying and follow me, because the other person aside from me is also talking about themselves, because hopefully in the midst of everything I'm trying to do is help the person, across from me find a little bit about themselves, learn about themselves, and maybe speak in the front of an audience and in a format where something else will come out if they weren't in it. And maybe that proves to be beneficial. And maybe you guys will see something I don't. Let me smooth this J, because that's the time of year. You want to come in? You want to say hi? I got my camerawoman Beatrice behind the camera. She don't want to come be seen right now. But I gotta ask you a couple questions though. What's your thoughts on the election? Bring a chair. Pull a chair over.
Gotcha.
She don't want to be on the camera. She's gonna be on the camera. Ah! And I found my lighter, so everything's working out.
Nice.
She's freezing too, so.
That's crazy.
After this, we're gonna watch out for the wine. We're drinking some wine. Oh, the wine. Let me get the wine.
Do we need more?
Maybe. Hold on. Where are you from?
I'm from Queens.
Queens?
So?
That's in New York City. We're drinking this wine today. Straight up, I'm gonna show you it. And the reason I brought it, thought Trump represented the bear, and Biden represented this little character over here. And the Ring of Fire, I guess, is the election. So you're in the show? You might be in the show. You might be sideways, but regardless of anything.
My feet are here, if anything.
So the election coverage is starting, and Trump has 11 points already.
Oof.
That's fucking crazy. And so yeah, it started in like Pennsylvania, some shit. I don't know. That just made me
That's
shit my
some
pants.
middle of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh, grab that tote bag real quick.
Gotcha.
I know you cold.
I'm cold, but I'm good.
Nice. Nah, it's gonna blow away.
You sit on it.
Yeah, Trump got. I forgot. I don't know what state that is, but
Wisconsin, probably.
my shit is all fucked up. Regardless of geography, right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm stupid as fucking geography, and that's gonna be forever. I got an email. Hold up. Anyway, sorry for the, setting up. This is Beatrice. She's from Queens. An incredibly close friend of mine. And the reason I want her to speak right now is because Beatrice is very invested in her culture. She's Mexican American, but as well as I am. But you meet people who have a certain passion about where they come from, and I think when you see that in a person, without prying in their authorization, finding out about it is beautiful. And the reason I ask about the election right now is because Trump's been just straight up dick to immigrants and minorities, and disrespectful in all forms. I don't give a fuck about what you say about this or that. It's just true. It's just been disrespectful. There's no justification of it. And he's just allowed this ignorant and, these groups of hate to just, do so without any negative feedback. So aside from all that shit sucks. Unless you're a white boy from Massillon. You know what I mean? And you might be a white boy from Massillon who hates Trump, and if you are, of course, I'm not addressing you. But this shit separates. And I wanted to ask you how you truly did feel. Like, now that we're going to election, you see 11 points for Trump off the bat. How do you feel?
It's not for nothing, but like, for the days, I know we've been talking about it in the sense of how we feel like, I'm nervous. I'm just kind of desensitized, not completely. I'm just trying to not think about it. I'm trying to, what happens. And yes, it makes me nervous to the fact of seeing those 11 points and Biden at 0.
Yeah, off the bat, that shit sucks ass.
But it's not like, I don't know, people are seeing this as he is our only savior. And I don't like that. Yeah, and I don't like that. Not one bit, because I don't know anything about him.
Yeah, man.
I don't know his stance on most of the things.
Apparently, if you don't vote for him, you ain't black.
Huh?
Apparently, if you ain't vote for him, you ain't black. You know what I mean? So.
I saw that. So that's tough. That's extremely tough. I wanted to retract my vote real quick.
and so being somebody that's really close with their family, being somebody who's really close with their family, how do you feel like it'll affect them, the whole process of watching it and after, depending on who wins? Because that's what I feel also is a little more effective, because people who are from Mexico, and I'm not saying that just because you're Mexican, you're greatly affected by Trump being re-elected or Biden being elected, but I imagine it's a little harder sting there, especially with the whole wall, children in cages, etc. The list goes on and on and on.
You would think so? My family doesn't talk about politics at all. Maybe my uncle, mi tío Florencio, but it's not where they've studied it, they've educated themselves on it, or they know what's going on. They just know who the president is and who is running against him. And they don't, aside from that, they don't know anything of these two people. They don't know what they're for. And it's not for nothing, but all my, super grateful that everybody in my house are U.S. citizens, that they became U.S. citizens throughout the year.
It's amazing.
And the most recent one was my grandma. And that, I'm so happy that happened, I think, before Trump got elected, that she decided to become a U.S. citizen, because everybody was just so worried for her, just in case that ever happened, which we knew it wasn't, but, you never know. You just completely never know. And I think because I'm close with my family and that we all went to go vote together, it'll just suck. It'll just really, really suck if Trump gets voted again. Like, we're all kind of just like shrug it off, but no one wants that. Like, aside from Trump supporters, no one wants that.
It extends this feeling of having to deal with literally 4 more years of ignorance and just separation to an extent that'll be power driven because of the re-election. Man, this is a testosterone driven man who appeals to idiots.
But not like
some idiots.
Aside from that, like not speaking about anybody in specific, but like my family, although they're not as educated, like there are some people that have defended Trump because of their views on certain things, and that I've never seen that from my family up until now.
Like them defending Trump and everything, right? So have you seen it? Did you see it in the beginning of the election, or like in his 2 years?
No, I just saw it this year.
Yeah,
this year,
I've seen a little bit of that too myself, to be honest.
Last year and this year, because we've never talked about it, and then like this year, like my cousins that are younger than me like to see this stuff and kind of I guess be involved to a certain extent, but it's kind of just bashing Trump and anything, you know, nothing too in depth. Like not that we know what we're talking about essentially, but just older people in my family that have said certain things and they don't really know what they're talking about, or like it's kind of hypocritical of them to say. But we don't get into that. Like eventually we kind of just turn it into a joke. For the majority, us younger, like my cousins and I, kind of just turn it into a joke. Not that because we don't want to talk about it, because like how you said, like it's hard to continue or like initiate an actual like honest and like back and forth conversation without it getting like defensive. So
I see a lot of submissiveness from my mom in particular. Fuck that lady. My mom in particular, you know, who I love in my heart, my queen. I see a lot of submissiveness. I see a lot of talk of, oh, well, you know, he's going to win anyway, so that's what I think. And, you know, that's her opinion. And not for nothing, I don't blame her for having that opinion. Because, you know, it's like, yeah, hell yeah, bro. It seems like this motherfucker has a strong chance, especially when he won, when he didn't have a chance of supposedly in the past. And so Biden could be leading by 1,000 points. Until this motherfucker is not in office no more, I am content with the decision. And then either way, same thing. Trump could be up 1,000 points unless it's over. You know, motherfuckers mailed in the ballot. Good for you. And if you did vote, good for fucking you. She like Beatrice mentioned, she took her whole family to go vote. That's like 7 strong, 5 strong. How much was that?
Oh, hold on.
How much people was that to the Lions? Queens, New York represented right here, dead ass. Because, you know, I'm me for not voting, and fuck yourself if you disagree with me. But anybody that does vote, especially in the fucking freezing cold that is October, New York City, you know what I mean? That's a beautiful thing that you took your family out there. And it's a great experience, right?
That is my grandpa, my grandma, and they're both like, my grandma's about to be 80, I think, next year. Yeah.
Beautiful.
My grandpa's 80 something. My aunt, my 2 uncles, my mom, and myself. That's 7 people.
Jesus Christ, 7 strong. I was
7 people.
That was a
7 strong.
Nice.
That was a good ass guys.
That's fucking wrong. Sorry.
7 strong. Beautiful. And like I think 2-3 hours we stood in line trying to get our shit together, trying to be in line, seeing marathon runners that didn't help for anything.
All they do is ran past you.
Some lady that wasn't helpful at all.
I guess it's something, right? I guess.
People were she was supposed to be helping people check in. She had a whole ass tablet. And like she was like, just make sure you're at the right polling place.
We're not here to bash the participators in the voting area. Just because they suck at their jobs has nothing to do with the process.
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, it's over now. I don't know what you're talking about. It's over now.
Yeah, by the time you see this, it will be over. As we're talking, you know, Trump is up 11 points.
No, but we even took a little chair, a little banquito.
That's good.
So my grandparents could sit, but they decided not to sit.
Oh, no?
There was too much movement. But even when we got there, it was pretty chaotic.
Yeah?
But aside that, easy breezy, lemon squeezy, we got in, we got out, and we went home.
That's fucking good. How can I say, Have you voted every year you could?
This is my first general election.
General election?
Yeah.
Or like actual presidential shit?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because 4 years ago I couldn't vote because I was a couple days off.
I'm done.
I wasn't 18 yet. 18 is when you can vote, right?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
As they say.
I was a couple days off from being 18. I registered and everything because of school. We had a whole assembly.
Assembly?
Yeah.
About voting?
I think we were seniors at the time, so I was a senior, and they did a whole assembly and put all us seniors to register to vote if we could. And so when we did have the ability to vote, we already had it set in stone.
You know, that's dope. That's actually really cool that they did it for you. My school might have done it for me, but I don't remember, so I can't give credit. This is a crazy story, and you know my mother. Mm-hmm. So my mother told me some story from Mexico when she was in Mexico. And one of the stories she told me was that when she was voting over there, so I don't know what specific, unit did this to her, and she says it was like, I think maybe like the, cartel or like maybe people that were corrupt for the government, because there's a lot of corruption over there, or at least there used to be, because I hear a lot of good things from the president. Yeah, until I see for change.
It's still corrupt.
Yeah, there's little roots of corruption. What she basically said was that when you were going to the polling lines in Mexico, you would be there waiting, and a lot of people didn't know what was going on, and so what they would do is gather, I think, all the women, the young women, and they would take them. They'd be like, go. Not only will we take you over there and help you find out where to vote and how to vote, but we'll help you fill out the forms. And so in doing that, they would fill out the forms for them, and they would put the candidate that they want for the people that they're helping vote. Wow. They're like, hey, you want to vote for, blah blah. I'll put it for you, this and that, and it's like kind of like, oh, okay. And so you don't know, like, in that way, it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy because you think you're getting help, but you're getting fucked.
And what did she do?
I don't remember. I don't know if she voted or not, or she didn't participate. But regardless, she said, she's like, we didn't know nothing about that stuff. And you're expected, and you're expected to vote. So it's like, okay, I guess it's just helping me, or he or she is just helping me. So when I heard that, I was like, holy shit, because that's like a real hands-on way to really get fucked. And thankfully, that don't happen here. It's hard to, but I feel bad for the people that are at the polls intimidating, because those people have, really shitty minds.
Yeah.
And hearts. So that's stupid.
That's bully shit.
It's some bully. I got bullied in high school type shit, and I got to get on people that aren't trying to hurt me. OD. That's OD. I almost said it. I was like, maybe. That's exactly what that shit is. Small dick energy. If you're a MAGA supporter, chances are you have that small dick energy. That's just the truth. Yeah, man. So right as of now, Trump is still up by 11. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke this J. I have another J, but I think it's too cold for the next one, so I'm gonna finish this one. We're gonna have our cup of wine and we're gonna go. So what are you, besides the election, right? What's something you would like to say to people watching this right now? Politics aside, being an individual to other individuals that are viewing this.
It's 2020 right now.
Right now it is.
It's 2020. It's November 3rd, 2020. 7-ish p.m.
That's the time.
In New York. Brooklyn, New York.
Vacation.
No, but just take it easy on yourself. As easy and cheesy as it may come off, be kind to yourself. Truly be kind to yourself. Let yourself heal. Let yourself feel. Try to reconnect with yourself if you're feeling disconnected. And do things you love. That's it.
I think that's beautiful advice. Everybody should, in some form, follow it to whatever extent they feel comfortable doing.
Of course.
But all that is agreeable. All that is beautiful, and it's true. It's very true. I agree with it too. I'm trying every day to always just be a little better and That doesn't mean like a skill set or yada. Just just to improve a little bit of yourself.
Yeah.
In this crazy world, it's about to get just a little fucking more crazy. I'm not staying up tonight watching this election. I'm gonna fall asleep. When I wake up, it's gonna be crazy. And they say it's not gonna be announced tonight, right? Because it's probably not gonna be all counted by today.
Probably.
For some reason, I don't believe that. For some reason, I do think it would be announced today.
I don't know. I mean, that's what they say. That's what they say. Who is they? I
Who
don't
is
know.
they? That's the question. Who is they?
I don't know, but
Fuck this joint.
I kind of don't want to watch it.
Me neither. And
Last election, I couldn't vote. I cried. Like a little bitch, but I cried.
so ultimately, you got it? It's gonna be a lot for my eyes.
Nice.
You can see me?
Yeah, I can see you.
You see me good?
See you good.
Right there.
It looks like you're fucking out camping somewhere.
Yeah.
But that looks good.
Is the video good?
Yeah. That looks spooky.
It's red, white, and blue. Oh, fuck. Let's go. I need you to not really look at it and make sure everything's good. I need you to have a really good eye right now for how it is positioned. Do I need to change up how I am?
A lot of the lights from that is coming through. If you want to move this painting more this way to cover that big light,
I can also lower the lights.
you could lower these lights. No, I'm talking about this.
Oh, those?
No, because there was like
Oh.
two.
Oh, what I need is a Empire State Building to come off right next to the painting. Alright, so there is a light right next to the Empire State Building, right?
Uh-huh.
I need that to
Come through.
so just I need the light to be cut off with the Empire State Building to stay.
Okay.
Let me know when to stop turning that.
No, you're covering it now.
One second, give me a second. Let me turn this off. Alright. That shit gonna blind me as fuck. One second. 'Cause I have the app. Okay. One second. Oh shit, this is a clock.
You're recording.